ESO Live. We're here.
We're here.
Bruno, Jessica Folsom. We're both the community managers for the Elder Scrolls Online. We've got a great show lined up for you today. We're going to look at ESO Morrowind Battlegrounds. We have Brian Wheeler, Rich Lambert.
They're making faces.
They're making faces at us right now.
So guess what today is?
Yep.
St. Patty's Day.
It is, and we are very unfestive, unfortunately. So here's today's show lineup. Are you guys excited for Morrowind yet?
I am. Woohoo. Everybody is. Super excited. We're going to kick off the show. First, we're going to just do a quick news recap while you guys are kind of getting in, having a seat, getting comfy, grabbing a beverage, and then we will get into Battlegrounds.
And then we're going to talk about Battlegrounds rule sets, so the different, like capture the flag and that.
Deathmatch and domination and all those. After that, we're going to discuss some recent hot topics from the week and wrap things up with some ESO fan creations.
And, of course, giveaways, so make sure you stick around.
It'll be a surprise what we're giving away, and it's a surprise to us because we don't know yet. So if there's something you guys really want us to give away, like maybe a hoodie or something, just, I don't know, start screaming and we'll see ya.
So real quick,
not literally screaming, but nicely screaming.
So real quick, we're just going to go over what happened this week and what can you look forward to next week, and then we'll get right into taking a look at Battlegrounds.
I don't know where to cough where it's not in the mic, so I'm...
Just cough.
Nobody wants
Maybe
to hear
Gina
that.
has had a little St. Patty's Day festivities today. So first up, Thieves Guild Anniversary event is now live on all of the ESO servers. It's going until March 20th. So make sure you get into Hughes Bane and get those double rewards on world bosses, delve bosses, resource nodes, and more.
Do it. Fun times. Also fun times is the home decoration contest that we kicked off.
We had some really good entries.
Earlier this week. Yeah, we've seen some really cool entries so far, and this is running until the end of the month. There are 4 categories that you can enter into. If you visit our Facebook page, there's a nice little entry form where you can just upload your screenshot. We have seen some people saying that, man, really wish you would do a contest for just a nicely decorated home instead of something very niche. So that is something that we will look into doing maybe a little later this year.
Yeah.
So stay tuned.
So next up, the travel series. You guys might have seen this. It's the ESO Morrowind travel series, short videos that we just started kicking off this week. The first one was Satanin. You can look forward to the next 2 next week. We're doing them on, I want to say it's Tuesday and Thursday. And then the following week we'll have a couple more. These give you a bird's eye view of some of the places you can visit in Morrowind.
They're cool.
And they're up on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram. So look for them there.
Next thing, we have a PC incremental patch this coming Monday. We didn't have one earlier this week. The one Monday, just so you know, it's going to be pretty small in terms of content that's in there. We just have a couple minor fixes, and then there are other things that are going in sort of that aren't public facing. And, you know, it's nothing we can really talk about, but just know when you see the list of patch notes that there are other kind of, I don't know, we'll call them secret things that are going in.
In the background.
In the background.
So we actually have one more in-game event coming up very soon. Some of you may have tried it out on the PTS recently. It's the Jesters Festival. So that's going to be starting on March 23rd, and the article that has all the details, has the rewards, what it's all about. You can look for that on the ElderScrollsOnline.com site on March 21st.
There's some really, really fun rewards that you get from Jesters Festival. So it'll be fun.
A lot of
seeing some of the
silly
screenshots.
revelry.
Oh, yeah. Lastly, last weekend we were at PAX East in Boston. Yay. We had Morrowind playable, specifically Battlegrounds and the Warden class, which was really cool. So we just wanted to show you guys some pictures from the show in case you didn't see them on our Twitter page or if you weren't there. This picture actually was taken by Brian Wheeler. This is just an overview of the show. It's so freaking huge. Like, this picture doesn't even do it justice. How many people are there? How many booths are there? We had crowds literally all weekend.
Looked like the energy was great.
It was insane. I mean, just trying to walk like to the bathroom took forever because there were just mounds of people just mashed together. It was really fun though. So there's our guys. That's Brian Wheeler, Rich Lambert, and then John, the producer. He was there helping us at the booth. Our friend Cypher PK from cypherpk.com.
There's Gina.
There's me and Rich. So yeah, we had a lot of our existing players stopping by and giving Battlegrounds a try.
It's always great seeing those guys in person.
Yeah. Speaking of players, this is a big group of players. Applicator on the left. Miss Biz is sort of in the middle there with the blue shirt, and then Tech and Junk behind her. Kalia with the red hair, and then of course Rich and silly Brian Wheeler. Beans.
Brian, what are you trying to do there?
I was just getting low because I didn't want to be the tallest one in the picture.
Get low. So, don't know if you guys have seen her videos. This is Grandma Skyrim, or Skyrim Grandma, Grandma Shirley, whatever you want to call her.
AKA Badass Grandma.
She is the baddest of the badass grandmas. She plays Skyrim. She plays other games. She stopped by the booth to give ESO a try, and she was just all about it. So it was so fun meeting her. She's so just passionate about games, and you can tell she loves them, and she was just stopping by all the different booths and
Definitely
trying
loves
things
Elder
out.
Scrolls.
Oh, yeah.
Wonder what alliance she's going to play. We'll have to find out.
Oh, yeah. She definitely said she's going to get started, so pretty cool. So somebody cosplayed as Nightingale, and we have some armor that we can show you later on in the show, but yeah, it was just funny seeing her with her headphones on, playing through Battlegrounds, you know, like this is a normal thing. There's Rich and Spees, one of our players. Can't wait to see how that interview ended up.
I'm so worried.
Oh, wait, you actually
Rich is shaking his head. Well, the interview consisted of like, quick, what do you think of Battlegrounds? 2-second answer. Okay, what do you think of the show? Okay, see you later. Like it was definitely very Spees.
That's gonna be like some sort of intercut.
It's going to be a soundboard thing.
Worried.
It's
So
like,
worried.
great. That's all he's gonna say.
Oh my god.
Sorry, had to put this. When we went out to dinner, I mean, I don't know if you guys have ever seen puffy bread before, but it was literally straight out of the oven, and it was huge and puffy, and we were all sitting around like, how are we even supposed to eat this? Like, you shouldn't have to ask the waitress, how do you eat our food? So she quite literally said, just stab it. So
Did any of you try to just pick it up and take a bite?
It was
No, I
wanted
just
to.
stabbed it.
Wasn't it like super, super hot?
It was hot, and it looks like it'd be kind of squishy like a balloon, but it was kind of hard, so yeah, Rich just kind of went stabby stab on it. These are our bald buddies, because bald is beautiful, right?
Rich isn't there yet.
Those are great.
He's got some fuzz.
Oh, so much fun.
Yes, so any future conventions we go to, we'll be sure and let everybody know, but PAX East was definitely fun.
And thank
It
you
was a good
guys so
time.
much for everybody who stopped by the booth and those of you who spent time taking pictures
Oh, yeah.
and going out. It was a great time, and we hope to see you again
Indeed.
soon. So I think next up we should take a look at the Battlegrounds. I know you guys have been waiting, you're
Oh,
eager to
yes.
see them. So we actually had a poll on Twitter asking you guys
Hi,
which
by
one
the
you
way.
wanted to see first. Oh, hey, look, here's a Rich and a Brian.
People!
Hi, guys.
We're doing stuff.
We're doing stuff.
So we had a poll on Twitter asking you all which battleground you wanted to see first, and Foyata Quarry won. So that was actually the one we had at PAX.
I
We'll
was
take a look at
surprised that
first.
one won because,
know.
yeah, we showed that off at PAX.
I
So
wonder-
A lot of people
not
could've-
everybody was there.
I
They
wonder
could've
if
been like,
maybe
"I didn't
people
see
didn't
it."
know the names, so
Yeah,
it's
That's possible.
We'll show 'em all.
Yeah.
The volcano.
But
yeah,
we will
go
look at
through
all three of them. So Foyata Quarry is going to be first, and then Olara, and then Aldkrek. So
So before we start, we have to try this. If this turns my mouth green, I'm gonna fucking kill you.
this is definitely green,
Sweet
definitely green apple
release.
juice.
It's green apple.
Green apple
Release.
Happy St. Patty's.
St. Patty's.
Chink.
Dear Lord. How was it, Rick? Am I
Is your
blue?
tongue green?
No.
You look
No?
clear.
No?
Okay, good.
You're good.
Okay.
So
Now
you're
that's
stuck
out of
with
the way.
me for a while then, I guess.
I wore my St. Patty's Day gear today.
It's
My,
well,
my
we can
game
say
developer uniform.
we can say our badges, right? Our
There you
badges
go.
are
Our
green.
badges have green
There
on
we
them.
go,
I
green.
don't even have that. Jeez, I am
Conway's
just
here, so
failing.
that qualifies for us, too.
Yep.
There's a
There we
green
go.
shield behind you.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, you're right. There we go.
I feel like we all deserve
not
a lot
sure.
of pinches today.
Yeah, seriously.
Oh, look, there's the picture of
So,
us in game. Look at that.
Battlegrounds.
Hooray.
So Battlegrounds,
Let's do
just
this.
for anyone who maybe hasn't been following, real quick, what are ESO Battlegrounds?
The Battlegrounds.
Awesome. Moving on.
It's what, three-sided,
Three-sided.
four pitted matches in basically schoolyard games that everybody knows and remembers, like
So
capture
3
the
teams,
flag.
four players each.
Small scale,
Yep.
tight confined spaces.
And this is
Pick up and
available
play.
in Morrowind in
Yes.
June.
Yes.
Yep. Lots
Okay.
of fun. New teams entirely. That's the other thing too. Not alliance based, so everybody can just queue up from level 10 on and get in there
Get
and
in and
play.
play.
Yeah.
Now, one thing that's interesting is you can do any game type in any map, right? It's not tied to
Yeah,
individual
that was
maps.
tricky to build,
Yeah.
but still, like that was sort of one of the things we initially set off, where we didn't want to have this map is this game mode only, and that's it. Like we wanted to put a variety of game modes within each map, and later on when we add more game modes, they'll also work retroactively with all the game maps
the
that are
other
out there
maps.
for Morrowind.
That's great. So if somebody really likes a specific type of game mode, they can queue up for that.
Sort of.
Sort of?
Initially, it's just gonna be one queue
One
that you
queue.
go into because
Okay.
we want
Get
them
butts
to
and
fire as much
seats.
as possible.
That's what we
right?
That
want
makes
initially.
sense.
Right.
Yep.
Later on, when we
Butts
start
and
adding more
seats.
game modes,
More action
'cause-
that way.
Yeah, it only has 3 game modes to start, but when we start adding more game modes, we'll probably split it out into like you can go into a deathmatch queue or a mobile flag queue or a land grab style.
And you
queue.
said there'll be new rule sets, new
Yep.
battlegrounds.
Yep.
Great.
Just not these original.
was good.
Yeah, there's more. It was
Yeah.
good. Good. Are you green again yet?
No.
Shit. Okay.
All right.
So anyway.
So first
So we
battleground.
should show off, the first battleground, the quarry.
Okay. well,
couple of caveats.
Go ahead.
Before Brian
Brad.
jumps in, we are doing this
should
on
steal
dev.
it.
Yep.
You may see some funky things. You may
You will
see
see
some
funky
temporary things.
The UI isn't final also,
The UI
right?
is not final,
it's
but
better than PAX.
it's better than it was at PAX.
So people will see some new
They'll
things.
see some new UI,
Okay.
which is really cool. Brian has to use a bunch of dev commands to get there because we don't have 11 people all queued up and ready to go.
So everybody should definitely close their eyes while he's doing those, right?
I mean,
We'll have CJ not focus on the computer when we go. So let's go to the first one.
want me to go to the first one?
Yep.
We don't want to show off the little area here where you actually can get
can
battleground
show
Oh,
and that
wait,
stuff.
what is this?
So
is a
this
staging
this
area.
is an area outside Vivek City, if you guys are curious. It has the 3 teams sort of represented by the various tents, and there's guys that you can talk to get a little bit of backstory about, hey, fire drakes are the best, blah blah blah.
Oh, cool. So if
there's-
you wanted to queue up with
buddies, yeah,
with
this
some
is kind of
friends,
one of
you
the
could meet 'em
areas
here.
to meet up. Yep. There's merchants that sell stuff that you guys will be able to earn through Battlegrounds as well. But now I'm going to do some cheat commands to get us in there.
Tutorial skip.
Sweet, that's Michael.
Why would
Nice,
you want to
Michael.
skip the tutorial?
So that's Mike.
In Morrowind,
So
just to
Foliana
give a
first,
little
right?
bit of context, there is going to be a new tutorial that everybody can run. And you were saying even if you're an existing player, you can still do,
You can still
of it, right?
see parts of it,
Mm-hmm.
yes.
so that's pretty cool.
So we're going into Foyata. This is the nice load screen that nobody had.
We
to
had an
see it.
FPO one
Yeah, we had
before.
FPO. This is actually
Oh,
a real
that's
pretty
nice.
one.
That's the real
Yep.
one.
Oh,
That's
I
a
like
real
those
deal.
scanners.
And this is where you start. This is sort of like the barrier to keep you in your home. And obviously, my team is a fire drake at this point. Hey, look,
So
a
what
big
happens
big
if
gray
you run
square.
into that?
You just get stopped. You get so you get
Oh,
this.
you
This is the you cannot
I thought
you shall
you'd
not
get
pass.
incinerated.
You
Right.
shall not pass.
No, and there's another barrier over here. Like we have in each spawn point, different ways to get out of your spawn point. So all the way over here, there's also a no, you can't go. We're still toying with how those barriers are going to look, but that's sort of where we're going to go, having each of them themed out after each of the 3 teams. And I'm going to actually start the
So
battle.
what are the 3 teams? I know we had an article on the website recently that kind of described these, but
Yeah, it's the Fire Drakes, the Pit Demons, and the Stormlords. Those are names that are from old arena lore. And they
That we
sort of
appropriated.
we have appropriated. That's a good word. We've
like that word.
We've reused them and made them fit into our world. So you'll get a little bit of information from those the battle masters at that place in Vivek City. But as a whole, they're not tied to alliances. So you queue up, you go
Game
into,
start,
and you're going to
go.
be randomly. Oh, I'm on a game start.
So you were saying you randomly get put
Assigned
into
each
one
time.
of the groups every time.
Right. But if you're preformed, if all of us are already in a group, then we will be together in the battleground together.
Right.
So what game mode did you start up?
This is capture the flag or
Okay.
capture the relic,
Capture the
because
relic.
you actually don't pick up flags; you pick up relics. This is the Fire Drakes one. It looks like a pretty cool hovering dragon face thing, and you can see on my compass that it shows it's at home. So it's got a little background diamond to it, as well as the actual relic icon itself. And then I'm going to cheat and run over here. This Foyata Quarry.
You don't have to do it.
I'm going to cheat and run over here. You want me to go slow?
Sure.
I could
That way
RP.
people don't
You want me to
barf.
RP walk it?
No.
Okay, just making sure.
But you can run it
go
on
into
the
first person also.
Yeah.
It might look cool.
Well, I'll go into first person when I pick this up. So this is the Pit Demons, and you can see we're still toying with what some of the effects are going to be. This, actually, the lightning effect shows up really well over at the Stormlord side, so I'll run over there. I will jog over there and not RP walk. so you can get a nice little view. And yes, the lava does hurt when you go in the lava.
I definitely
ensnares you
saw
and
some
everything.
people like
Throwing other
dude.
people.
grabbing other people into
They were
the
chain
lava.
pulling
They were chain
them.
pulling
Yeah.
them in,
That
or they
seems
were
like a good
knocking them off,
tactic, yeah.
or it was really cool to see
Yep.
what people were doing.
They're definitely, like, that is legit tactic. And in case anybody asks, you know, what happens to the flag when you get dragged into the lava, it snaps back after a period of time, like the Elder Scrolls do in Cyrodiil. So
So-
they follow the same rules when you pick one of these things up. You
If
can't
somebody
stealth.
gets killed who's carrying it, does it drop on the ground
Yes.
for a short period of
It
time?
drops on the
Yeah.
ground for about 10 seconds, and you have to click it to pick it,
Right, okay.
pick it back up. So there's sort of like the effects in there, in where
Pick
they're
it up.
supposed to be.
Pick
All
it
right,
up.
I'll go there. I picked it up. Ooh. So it says Fire Drake's picked it up. That's sort of announced to everybody. It
Oh
doesn't.
boy, there's no hiding from that, right?
No, there's no hiding from that. We're still messing with the effects for this as well, in terms of whether the lightning coming out of my back will be literally coming out of my back or coming from the crown. We know that when people are like in lightning form, this may fight with that. So we're probably going to shift
To move it around.
where that comes around.
So if you,
And that's what it looks like
when
at first
when you
person.
die in Battlegrounds, how long is the respawn time?
So it's sort of like Imperial City. There's the a cycle timer.
There's a global
So-
respawn.
Oh,
time.
okay, yeah.
So everybody's on the same timer, and right now it's set to 20 seconds. We've toyed with 30 seconds, we've toyed with 15 seconds, and 20 sort of feels the best. You don't have people sit back and go, all right, well.
I'll
gonna
just
go make
twiddle
the
my
same
thumbs
yeah,
for a while.
I'm going to go, yeah, exactly.
You're
But-
Fire Drakes.
Yes, I'm Fire Drakes, and I'm going to die in the fire.
What? Don't you want to cap it?
Well, no, I just want to show the fact that it actually drops, see? And then you release, and there's the timer. I actually got lucky. I had it right at the timer there.
Can you show the map of this Battleground?
Yep. So it's showing.
There it is.
There they are. Out there's that thing out in the wild. It just snapped back.
There you go.
So, ta-da, works. What? Whenever I say it
Doing it
works,
live.
whenever I say it works,
Doing it live.
everybody laughs. It's like this has been in development for a while, guys. It actually does work. Bobby probably just went, yes. That was the thing, actually. People jumping over the cart. I don't know why. They were like, yay, bridge cart.
Just because it's fun.
They're like jumping and stuff. Sound effects for this will be coming in soon, right, Matt? He's nodding over there quietly. Yes.
Fire Drakes.
Fire
Cap
Drakes.
It. Cap it.
I'm going.
See
I'm
the UI
going.
work. You're going a long way.
Well, I'm sprinting now. Is this better?
No, because you're going a long way.
I know. I'm going past here so we can do a nice little tour again, because people that weren't at PAX haven't
Yeah, it's the
necessarily.
first
they
time
can
they've
look at
seen it.
walls?
Yeah.
So this Battleground feels a little bit more open.
This is
It is. And that was
definitely
the
more
original
open.
design.
Right.
Yeah.
Some of the other ones that you'll see later are a lot more claustrophobic, a lot more line of sight blocking type things.
Yes.
This one was specifically designed to be wide open.
Yeah, there's a little bit of LOS blocking when you get near these capture locations. We can kind of duck and dodge through here. We saw a lot of people doing this. And again, in first-person view, you do get the cool effects on the side of your screen.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, that is cool.
Can you pick up 2 relics at the same time, or
Nope,
just one at a time?
just one per character. Now that doesn't necessarily mean
Hooray.
yay. Now normally this score would increment and things would be happy hunky dory. but
WIP.
UI's in progress.
Work in progress.
Yep. So that's like a real basic thing of capture the flag. It reset. Hooray! It's back in there. Go get it again. And yes, it does say Ebonheart and Daggerfall and Old Mary right now, just because again, work in progress.
So if
But that
I'm,
will say things later.
if I'm one team and I pick up an enemy team's flag,
Uh-huh.
then what? What do I do with it?
Get it back to yours.
You have to touch
You
it
have
to
to
yours.
get it back to yours.
And yours has
it's,
to be
It's
there.
like it's true old school CTF.
Yep.
You have to have your flag home to be able to capture.
Okay.
Now, in the case of you have my flag, I have your flag, we can't capture. I need to get that flag back from
Aha.
you. And if you click the flag out in the wild, it snaps back like you saw when I died in the lava. So it's not like I need to run my flag back. It'll snap back if I click it.
if a defender clicks it.
Yep.
Okay.
But if an enemy person clicks it, it picks it back up and views the ability on them, and you got to go kill them.
And how long is the usual match?
Well,
there
they
a
can go for
timer?
15 minutes maximum.
15? Okay.
Yeah. Most of the matches we see where people are actually playing the rules of the match trying to win. If a team's dominating, like 7 minutes.
Yeah, 7 to 10 minutes is probably
Yeah.
average. But like Wheeler said, there will be an absolute max time limit.
Right. And
Just
you can
so
see the
that
timer ticking
games
down
don't
over
take
here.
forever. Like we want these
Yeah.
to
Yep.
be the jump in, play, the 15-minute tops type thing. So you can, in a lunch hour, get 2 or 3 of these in.
Right.
Yeah, that is
Yeah.
nice. It's very quick, fast-paced.
Yeah, very much so. And that's, again, gets back to the philosophy of we wanted to give people a different mode of PvP that they don't have right now. Like, there's Imperial City, which is sort of close quarter, you can run around and fight, but you still need to get there. And then when you're in there, you can get kicked out and get kicked to the sewers, where this is very much a case of getting stuck on rocks for fun.
Does F5 work?
Does F5 work? Well, F5, yeah, F5 shows this. This
That'll
is
be a
going to be a
scoreboard that you
progress
can
too.
bring up.
Oh, cool.
Oh, that's nice.
So you can always kind of check where you are in your team or where each of the teams are outside of the little short quick
The short
update.
thing, yeah. And then you can see their medals. We'll talk more about medals in depth later, but those are the things that go to leaderboards that give you the weekly rewards from Battlegrounds as well. You get rewarded at the end of every Battleground too.
Do you need
get
glasses,
items
Gina?
and AP and stuff.
I'm trying to see this guy's name so I can just be nice and call out, but it's yellow on a gray background,
Oh,
so I
that's-
literally can't read it. Anyway, he was asking if you can streak or stealth while you're holding a relic.
Nope. Nope.
Uh-huh.
Nope. It's
Same rules as carrying a scroll.
Elder Scroll.
Okay.
Let's look at.
What's the next battleground?
Well, I'll set this thing up for domination, which is
Domination?
the flag capture stuff.
What is this is a silly question, but look up. I was curious what the. Okay, so it's all
cloudy.
smoky.
Yeah,
and
there's
cloudy.
the mountain is.
With a chance of mushrooms.
Oh, he's
Oh,
fine.
that's cool.
There's
okay.
that hiding out back there.
No
You're
crater.
cheating.
Crater.
No. Actually, let's just go to another battleground.
Are you guys going to be talking about rewards at all today?
I mean, loosely, you get AP and XP at the end of every match.
Only at the end of the match.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the big differentiator here is in Cyrodiil you earn them kind of as you're killing players, and in this we wanted to reward completion of the games and not turn it into I'm just going to AP farm by
or
fighting other
I'm
players.
losing and I'm going to quit.
And
Right.
there is a quitter penalty too.
There's a quitter penalty.
Oh,
so
really?
so you only get rewards when the game ends. That's kind of how we're going to incentivize things.
And currently the penalty for leaving early is like 15 minutes or 20 minutes of no alliance points.
Oh, okay.
Oh. I'm sorry, Jules. It was Jules who asked the question.
Oh.
Everyone's like,
Jules is like, "It's
a
me."
guy," and it's like,
Jules is a
sorry.
guy.
I couldn't
Wah,
see.
wah.
Couldn't
So
see.
this is
This is
a
all
different
correct.
battleground.
Yep. I just figured I might as well hop to another battleground. and do it.
surprise.
So domination in
All
the
correct.
Dwemer.
This is all
Ryan's
correct.
going out of order.
Do-
You're
Dwemer.
going out of order.
Yeah.
Way to go.
Well, I didn't know there was an order.
Right there.
It's right there on
All right. Well, okay. So we're going out of
Well,
order.
surprise. All right,
It's fine.
so what's the background in this battleground? Because nobody's really seen this one before.
It's Dwemer ruins, essentially, that were overtaken by nature. There's some stuff that still looks like it's active. You'll see some machinery that's sort of still working and some machinery that is not. But the big point here is that these capture locations are incredibly fast as compared to Cyrodiil locations. This flag capture, it's like at this point it's yours. It's already owned by your team, and then you're getting points. So in Cyrodiil, everybody knows that it's a lot longer for these
slower,
things
yeah.
to flip. So we wanted to speed up the pace of them, and you can see it transitions just like they do in Cyrodiil. So the more people you have next to the flag, the faster it goes, and it works on a differential. So in the case of there's two of you from green on it, and green owns it, and Conway, me, and Rich show up to it as Team Orange, we'll move it 1 point towards us, so you guys would be losing it.
Okay.
So it works in that regard of whatever teams have more. And that yellow text popping up there, that's not going to be there.
They can't see it. It's behind the hidden window.
It's behind it, but there's yellow text there.
So the center screen
There's
stuff,
that yellow
yes.
text. Yeah, that's not going to be there
That's not
because
gonna be
the
That's all just
yep,
temporary.
yep, the thing will actually increment.
Somebody in chat was asking if kills count towards the score or just flag captures.
Depends on the game mode.
Yep, in deathmatch they count towards the score, but in games like this they do not. However,
What
there'll
does that
be
say offline?
that's just a bug right now with that.
Nothing to see here.
Work in progress.
Look away.
But
There we
well, I want to show what happens when I hit that switch. So there's those rails down there, right? And then when I hit the switch, it turns on
offline
some blades down there
Oh,
that actually hurt people.
Oh, snap.
Oh shit.
So
Watch
So
your
there's
butts.
a whole bunch of people clumped up.
right, that's what you do to
awesome.
to kill them up.
That's
so
great.
that's one of the things we started messing with a lot in this map specifically because it was Dwemer and Dwemer traps and just the concept of letting players trigger environmental stuff because in Foyata there's lava. You get pulled into the lava. And
Yeah.
Keep doing the tour. And so the big differentiator in this map as well is it's obviously a lot more claustrophobic, but we've played more with verticality in here. You can actually, like Brian showed, you go up into the tower and kind of hold the high ground.
There's a lot of interesting
There's a
little nooks
reason
and
why
crannies.
you want to hold the high ground, because it's a little bit easier to defend that center point.
Yeah, there's a lot more places to hide in this map
Yeah.
than the
So this is
than the quarry.
definitely a different feel than the quarry.
And if anybody's curious, yes, this is the exact diameter and height of Eye of the Storm. So if somebody drops Eye of the Storm, you literally cannot see what's going on down there, which is fun.
Nice.
But there's another flag capture banner over there, and this kind of gets to like the capture locations here. They're pretty iconic. Like this is a torn down Centurion factory that got ripped up by the volcano that blew it up. So there's a lot of callbacks still to Vardenfell in the Battlegrounds itself.
And distinguishing landmarks in each area, so you can kind of know right away, oh, hey, this is the spot. You know, this is the forge, this is the whatever.
Right.
And just to reiterate again, this is all coming with Morrowind
Yes.
on June 6th. These are not being sold for crowns. It's strictly bundled with the new Morrowind chapter that's coming.
And then over here we have sort of like a forgy look.
Hey, Wheeler, how much damage do the blades do? Chat was asking. Is it like you get hit and you're
if
dead?
you get hit
or-
by like, you can't stand there and survive.
You
It's
can't-
not
you
it's
can't
not
heal
one
through
shot.
it.
Yeah, it's not one shot. Like we did have some abilities that were hitting people and it one shot them and they were like, what the table flip.
Yep.
There were other ones where they could heal through it and they're like, well, this is completely ineffective.
Right.
So
You
it's
gotta find a balance.
Yeah, it's in between. It's a work in progress, and
We'll
that
keep
is stuff.
tuning and tweaking as we
Yes.
as we go, as we
Very
play
much the
test it more.
case.
So for anybody tuning in, this is Old Croc. And which mode are you playing?
This is domination, so there's the points
the
to
4 point.
capture. Whoops. It doesn't show them on the map right now, but there would be flags here, 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 and here. And they're in between each spawn point. We did toy with having flags sort of like, hey, Team 1-1. It's not going to say that in the long run. Hey, look at that. I can lead the battleground. Which I'll do. It'll show on the map. A new feature that it's going to show actually on the compass on the map is the borders around the flags will show you if it's being defended or attacked by a certain team. So if it's a green flag and it has an orange border, it means orange is attacking it. If it's a green flag with a green border, it means green's actually defending it for the time being. So we wanted to give a lot of information out there for people to make up their decisions in these places quickly. Because out in Cyrodiil, we wanted the war, we wanted there to be some timing where you have to get to the place and actually fight people and get time by killing them. And here the respawn time is sort of the thing that is the reset. So we want to give you as much information as possible. So giving a little bit more info on the flag captures is kind of a nice like micro feature that got added.
That makes sense. So when you queue up and
Actually, you would-
your battleground is ready, you zone in, how do you find out which rule set you're in? Do you just have to look around and you know, or does
I
it
think you
say it?
choose the rule set at the beginning, right?
Well,
don't.
no,
It's random right
it's random right now, but we're
Oh.
working on getting you information.
tell you.
On terms of like what game mode you're in and what team you're on. We know that's a lot of feedback we actually got out at PAX.
Yeah.
And internally as well. It's like some of the main questions are, well, what game mode are we and what team am I on? Besides just
Yeah.
looking around going, oh, there's orange flags. Like
Yeah, we will probably try to do, like, right now, the current idea is something kind of akin to the way we delineate veteran dungeons. So in a normal, you go in, it's just a loading screen. On veteran, it shows you the shield.
Oh yeah.
Something along those lines is kind of what we're thinking, but we're still working on it, so we'll see.
do we want to
That makes
do
sense.
CTF or domination for the last one?
Do CTF. That's my favorite game mode, so.
Oh, it's nice new
Yalara.
loading screen.
Shoot, I lost it.
That is a nice one.
Shoot darn.
Shoot
Shoot,
darn.
darn it, I lost that
Question?
question. Oh, here
Shoot
it is,
darn.
from Casual Ranger. He was actually at PAX.
Oh, hey.
Did, I got to meet him.
He was asking what the deal is with champion points in Battlegrounds.
What the
plan?
deal is?
What's the plan
What's the
for that?
dealio?
What's the dealio?
So we were going to touch on that a little bit later on.
We can touch
but,
on it now.
Well, we can wait. It's cool.
It's fine.
No,
Wait,
it's fine.
that's like saying, hey, let me tell you about this thing later.
Dick move? Is that what you're saying?
Well, that would have been, but we're going to say what we're actually doing in them,
So right now we're leaning towards no CP in Battlegrounds.
Okay.
Well,
Short and sweet.
More,
and
more
concise.
on that later, apparently.
Right. Well, I mean, that kind of goes with the philosophy of Battlegrounds. Get in,
It does.
rumble.
They're get in,
Yeah.
play. They're more of a gamey type thing rather than these epic sieges type kind of thing.
But there'll be level ranges.
So yeah.
Well,
what
that
we're-
was the other question.
So what
yeah.
we're doing
Right.
is we're going to put in, or we are putting in some logic to try and better match players up. So preform groups will generally always go up against preform groups. The queue,
That's
the back
good.
end will look
That's
behind
good, yeah.
and look at that. The other thing that we're working on doing is trying to match levels. So
Chat's like, yes, yes, and then
Yes.
people no, boo. Just
yes, it's
completely
polarizing. We get
bipolar.
it. But for levels, we will try to queue you or try to match you up against people that are relatively the same level as you,
It'll start searching near your level and then widen it.
and slowly
Like-
start widening it out each iteration.
And what needs to be understood here is, in the case of it finding the widest possible range, that's assuming there's nobody in the queue anymore. And like, well, we just need to fill it and throw people in.
Killed that.
It was a
Awesome.
mouthful.
So this is Ulara, which is essentially a Daedric ruin. You'll recognize some of these.
This one is a
Architecture.
little bit less claustrophobic, but there's a neat little twist to this battleground. In that there
Oh,
is
man, hold on.
cheater,
I cheated.
cheater.
Pumpkin eater.
All right. There's a little teleport to the center pillar.
And that's the only way you can get up here.
That's
So the only way you can
cool.
get up there, so you can kind of force hold this location. And
So all three teams will probably rush this.
probably
It depends.
It depends on the game mode and
Like
game type.
in this game mode where it's CTF, the capture locations are the flags are out here in these little
okay.
in these
It's
little
not as
corners.
important, but
Right.
you get to see pretty much every spawn point, every location from the map up here.
Right.
So you have the high ground. In Domination,
There's a
correct me
capture
if I'm
point
wrong,
right
the
there.
capture point is right in the frickin'
That's
middle.
one
there.
of them. Yeah.
So you can capture and hold this location.
Yeah, you can see how these higher positions let you look down on that flag,
Now
and
you
I can
can't hit
run
people
over.
from there, right?
You can.
You can.
Your
You can.
range.
Yep.
You can.
Oh.
So it
Lots
does
of-
actually have a purpose to
it's a
hold this
tactical
center
advantage.
point. Flip to that though, and we actually, as we were kind of playtesting this, you want to show kind of the
gutter?
the gutters there.
Yeah.
This originally was a big solid pillar, and when we were playtesting it, we were like, you know what? It would be really cool if there were a little bit more safe areas there to kind of sneak around and get some protection from the high ground.
Right. So you can
we
kind of
ended
go
up
under here.
building this gutter section, which makes it feel that much better. and
Yeah,
gives you more
it
places
used to be
play.
as wide as this whole thing, like these, and then it didn't feel like you could sneak around as much. And that was like, for capture the flag, you would kind of want to grab it and then run around here and duck. But the mix of LOS blocking and open field in here was a little bit tricky because we already had the open field one, we already had the claustrophobic one. Well, how can we figure out a means to do another style? And the effects aren't on that one just yet. But you could grab it. You could either gutter run, like some of the modes we've seen people, or some of the builds we've seen people use. We've seen tanky builds grab the flags. We've seen people that are in medium armor hauling as fast as they possibly can to get the flags.
Trying to use speed.
Yep.
Yeah.
So people have been doing all kinds of methods.
Well, it's nice that there's so many different
Yep.
options. I really like all the different areas you have to kind of hide or
Yeah.
ambush.
They
or-
each battleground feels unique, feels different, and when you play each game mode on each map, they also feel different, which is
Yeah.
really cool.
Yep. And people can kind of see like this is the size that we're going for. For most of these, pretty small, but it's usually around 5 or 10 seconds before you run into an enemy.
And all of them as well. Your spawn points are in an elevated location,
So you have to
so
drop
we don't have to worry about spawn camping.
I was about to ask
You
you
jump
that,
down
yeah.
into the fracas
Like,
rather than people just camping your spawn
Yep.
points.
Yeah, they're all
Right.
drop downs. And they all have
That's great.
several ways out. There's I can drop down on this side of the pillar, that side of the pillar. I could walk over to here. You kind of saw in Foyata where I went all the way down to one side and dropped out. We'll have the protection stuff that we have, sort of like an Imperial City, where if you get pulled up there, you'll die or you'll get ported out. Just in the absolute worst case scenarios,
That
there's
somebody's
protection.
trying to
Right.
be sneaky
What
and
does
get
the
up
map
there.
look
Yeah.
like on this? There you go.
There you
so
go. And
again, you can kind of see the theme. We're doing small spaces. They're more bowl-shaped. They're always three-sided. And we try very hard to make sure that each spawn point is roughly equidistant in terms of travel times to the various locations.
But one of the newer maps that we're not talking about yet is entirely different than that.
But we're
So
not
there
talking
will
about
be-
that.
No, we're not talking
Talk
about
about
it.
maps.
dick move.
But
what a tease.
Good lord.
What a tease.
well, because people always ask, well, they all, like we've got a lot of questions of, are they all going to be like that? Are they all going to be the shape? It's like, no, we're already
This
planning
first batch
on
of 3
different
is going to
shapes.
be
Yes.
thematically,
Tomorrowland.
Tomorrowland
Yep.
and built more towards this, and then we're going to experiment and play with new maps as we get more and more feedback.
Yep.
And I would guess as you guys get more feedback on these, you
Things
may
could
get
change.
inspiration to
Oh, yeah.
create different types of
Scoring
settings.
may change. New things may get added into it. More environmental hazards may get added or taken out. This is very much going to be a continual work, and not work in progress, but continually new feature that we're going to be supporting over and over and over and
Yep.
over.
And we'll keep iterating.
Yep.
So just the beginning.
Just the very, very beginning. Yep.
As far as classes go, could you theoretically have like 4 Dragon Knights
Sure.
in one team?
Yep.
Could.
So it's not capped, like you can only have one
Nope.
team.
Nope,
Yeah,
you
there's
could
no roles that you set for the
there's
queuing, right?
Right. There's no roles. There's no alliance. It doesn't matter. You just queue up and you get put in a group, and then you play.
Great.
I'm just going to flip this over
Actually, I have a lot of
to
questions.
domination mode.
We have a lot of questions.
Awesome.
I'm kind of just throwing them
Oh, okay.
off to the side for a minute. We'll get to them.
Okay.
Unless
Well,
you
I
want
mean,
some
let's,
now.
yeah, let's ask.
Yeah.
Ask
There,
away.
you guys saw right there, there's like the snapback mechanic in case people manage to client hack through those walls.
People
good.
don't client hack.
That's a lie.
Come on now.
That's a lie.
Uh,
But anyway, go ahead and ask some questions as I'll run around and grab some
I'm,
flags. And
sorting through. Hang on. As far as armor stats and everything, how is that going to be functioning? It's just going to be
But do you
battle
mean-
leveled.
oh, battle
Every-
level.
battle
Everyone's just
leveling is in
battle
here. Yeah, battle leveling is the same as one Tamriel.
Battle
so
leveling and
leveled,
battle spirit.
Just like Cyrodiil, battle spirit, battle leveled. So if you do get put up against people that are different levels than you, where you can still compete, we're just going to try to make sure, or try to ensure that players are relatively matched up against people of equal level.
And what happens if somebody on your team disconnects or something happens where they leave? Are they replaced, or do
They
you
get
wait a little
backfilled.
bit and see if they can log back
The
in?
same rules go for
It's
any
a-
of our disconnects.
Right.
It's a
If
little
they
bit
disconnect,
stricter
they're
here,
gone
though.
for a bit, and then they get booted, and a new person comes in.
It's a little bit stricter here because we need to keep filling the battleground in.
Yeah.
Yep.
So if you lose your spot here by a disconnect, unfortunately we need to backfill it as quickly as possible. That being said, it won't backfill if there's a score of 400 or more for one team, or if there's 2 minutes left. Because nobody wants to
Okay.
get
So
put
you won't
into
Yeah,
get
a
dumped
yeah.
into a game that's dead.
Right, yeah, it's
Right.
like, all right, well, it's
And the
off.
game will end if we can't find anybody to.
And if it
fill it.
dips below a certain amount of people per team, then it'll shut the thing down.
Yep.
And then we'll give like a consolidation prize or
That's
Maybe.
good. So people don't get hit
We'll
with
see.
a penalty or
yeah.
anything like
Right.
that.
Yeah, it's
Remember, we have to worry about
yeah,
people that.
people are not playing it nicely, as it
Uh-huh.
were. Yeah. Yep.
This is why we can't have nice things.
Well, this is true.
It's one of my favorite sayings.
Yep. In the fighting in this particular battleground right here, we kind of saw that people were just backing up all the way, so we just cut holes in this corner. Like this, that used to be extended all the way out
Yep.
between
There's
those
a nice
pillars.
little hidey hole.
And we're like, nah, we're just going to cut corners off of that. So, like, a lot of these maps have custom pieces in them to
You're gonna win.
oh my God, I'm the
Quickly.
only, oh my goodness. To kind of go against some of the things we've seen internally that we know people will do in the long run. So we've been playing these, many months at this point before they get to
To the final.
this
art.
pretty looking, yes.
Yeah, this is more final art. Most of the stuff that we do is gray block, kind of cobbled together. You can't really tell what the object is supposed to be. You just know that there's something there.
Yes, people can streak and get to that, by the way.
I was actually going to ask, if you're being attacked, can you still use that?
Yes.
Yeah, you just run into it.
Yep.
It's a good quick exit
Yep.
Yeah.
if you're in trouble.
And right now I can still run around. We're still toying with what's going to happen during this closed period. If we're just going to flip everybody back to one Tamriel rules where everybody's friendly, or if we're going to lock people in place. There's cleanup concerns there. Like if you have a dot on you and the battleground ends and it kills you, like there's some
It could happen.
There's some stuff.
No, that's a good edge
Lots of
case.
edge
So yeah,
cases.
lots of edge cases that we need to worry about even in the end game mode.
Okay.
For PC players that are using add-ons, I assume they still work in Battlegrounds.
Yes, and actually there'll be some other things exposed with this that we're going to let people work on add-ons for.
Oh,
Sort of
cool.
like when we did with dueling, exposing various things to the
Yep.
API. There'll be other things we add here that people can hook their mods into,
Oh,
like
right
brand
on.
new mods.
When you were going through the different game types, there's a little bit of confusion between capture the flag and domination.
Yeah.
Can you just clear up the differences between those two?
Yeah, the basic difference is one's a mobile flag game and one's static. Domination is here's a flag in one area, you go take it, and
You're
own
And then
that
that's
capturing
flag.
and holding a
You
location.
get a point, and then you get points by
Right.
holding that. Whereas in CTF, I'm going to grab something from your team and bring it back
to my
And
team.
Okay.
The easiest analog for that is in Cyrodiil. There's the Elder Scrolls.
Right.
That's capture the flag, and then domination is taking and holding, let's say, a resource or a farm.
Right.
So it's that same style, just on a very micro level.
That makes sense.
Great. Are we going to be adding any titles in Battlegrounds?
For achievements?
Oh, that
Maybe.
that face. And then, as far as like, everyone keeps asking about rewards. Are there going to be like
There's
new sets? Like
there's
in
new item
Maelstrom?
sets. There's lots of cool things. It's not just items. There's also
there's
some
this person
furnishings.
right here that I
Don't
could-
do it.
that I could
Don't
talk
do it.
to.
No, don't
I
do
could just
it.
hit the button.
Don't do it.
I could just hit it.
The Battleground Merchant is set up
one.
with temporary
Oh.
type
Right there.
things that you will have.
And these are different from what you can get in Cyrodiil?
Yep.
Yes.
So
So
we'll get into that
we'll touch that at a later date.
later.
Tease.
Yeah, total tease. Ultimate generation, is that going to be cleared when you enter the battleground, or is that still
Not right
being
now.
discussed?
Not right
That's a
now.
good question.
It's something we've talked about.
Well, it's kind of the same with
It is. I
dueling,
mean,
too.
it's also the more you mess with a character, the more likely the scenario is that something could break.
Look at that
So
armor.
I always
That's cool.
adhere to the philosophy of touch as little as possible,
No touchy.
and don't mess with the player if you can.
Right.
Right. And playing with that, wiping ultimate, doing all those things. That can be dangerous, and so we don't want to do it unless we absolutely have to.
We-
No. Oh,
Real quick, sorry, I see people asking about the no CP event that we had on live. We are going to talk about that
Yes.
very
Yes.
soon,
Soon.
so hang tight.
next
Hot
up
topic.
is Hot Topics. So is this like Cyrodiil in that no pets? No, I'm sorry, no non-combat pets.
No
yeah.
non-combat.
No
pets.
non-combat.
Oh.
Same rules as
Mounts?
Cyrodiil.
I was going to say mounts is
Mounts, we're still discussing that.
Okay.
And in some maps, it makes sense. Like Alt Karak, it's big
It
in the
feels
sense that
bigger.
there's lots of line of sight breakers and there's lanes, but it's actually the same size as
Yep.
the other ones.
But
You
I
don't-
guess you can't really capture the flag if you're on a mount.
No, it follows the same
Yeah.
rules, and
But other people could.
sure.
Follow you.
And these are small enough that I don't know that we need them. And what I also want to ensure is those that don't have maxed out mounts don't feel like they're not at an advantage. And
Sure.
in a smaller space like this,
Right.
it absolutely would feel that way.
Yes.
What about changing your gear or changing your skills while you're in Battlegrounds? Can you
can.
actively
If you
change
have
all
it-
that
if you have
stuff?
it in your
Same
inventory.
That's how I
rules
changed
as
my gear.
Cyrodiil. You have to be out of combat.
That's
Same
how I
rules
do
as
it.
Cyrodiil. You have to be out of
your
combat.
New GIF.
Changey.
New gift. Here we go.
Change these skills.
Yeah, it's.
And there's going to be leaderboards too, kind of like a ranking system.
Yep.
We'll talk
Do
more
those-
about that when we have it in an
Actually, yeah.
visible state for
Is the
everybody to
plan
look
currently, without getting into it too much, to reward once a week, or is that
Weekly.
still in discussion?
Weekly. And we're also discussing game type.
Okay.
at. Yep. So that we're looking at 3 leaderboards for now. that
Leaderboard
anybody
per
can
game
compete
type.
in. Yep. And that would be if Rich is level 10 and I'm 45 and you're 50, we're all contributing to the same leaderboard. So it's not like, oh, this is the big boy leaderboard only.
Right.
What about Siege? Can you use Siege in Battlegrounds?
No. We thought about it. We thought about it at one point.
Nope.
Great. Anything else you guys want to show off?
I'm
have
just
a
running
PM.
around Alt Correct some more.
I have a lot of PMs.
Yeah, this is what CTF looks like in Alt Correct. You can kind of see how these like little, I don't
That's
know,
cool.
altars or whatever you
Yep.
want to call it. It's pretty cool.
What about poisons? A lot of people are asking about poisons in
You can use them.
Battlegrounds.
You can use them.
Any other questions? There's tons before we get to
There are.
hot topics.
Yeah.
CJ's
Why are
like,
you
I'm not
laughing at
going
that?
shopping.
Yeah, I'll go up in here and hit the trigger again for triggered.
Triggered the offline
The
trigger.
offline trigger. Well, you go offline. I can
So
hop
this is currently the only
Wrecked.
type of. Ooh, look at that damage. So you can
Ow.
take about
Up
3
2
or
or 3
4
hits, yeah.
There
I
you
mean,
go.
he also created, well, a small crater. but-
There it is. There's some
9K.
damage. And here's the timer. So I got
He got the big one. Big timer.
I got to take a break timer.
Yeah, you did.
That's okay though.
Well, awesome. This was a really good kind of sneak peek into Battlegrounds so everyone can see what they look like and what to expect.
yes, we were working on them.
Oh, yeah. It
Battlegrounds.
is happening.
And I'm sure we'll answer more questions over time.
There'll be
We
lots
will-
of questions.
There'll be plenty.
Okay,
Yep.
great.
And we are going to be doing an AMA on the ESO subreddit, which actually we still need to set a date. So we should all get together after this and set a date.
Okay.
So if you have any questions that didn't get answered
Professional.
today, you'll have another opportunity to ask
We were at
them.
PAX.
Yeah. We were
busy.
We were thinking about doing it this week, and then you decided to take a day off.
Well, the snowpocalypse happened.
Oh God,
It was like
It was that much
5
snow.
inches of snow.
Says the
It was
Canadian.
not that serious.
It's not that much snow.
We woke up and it was like, "What's that? A
Oh.
flurry? Nope, not going in."
I stayed home because
It
schools were
was
closed.
very, very
Yeah.
icy.
It was.
Also
It
tired.
was extremely icy.
And yeah, PAX was
PAX was the thing.
exhausting.
But yeah, we will
Fun,
do
though.
we will do an AMA, so everyone can ask your Battlegrounds related questions there. If something didn't get answered here, there will be a replay on Twitch that you can watch also, just
Yep.
in case.
And we'll have more articles going out on ElderScrollsOnline.com throughout the month of March, specifically about Battlegrounds, so keep an eye out for those as well. And thank you guys so much for joining us.
Sure.
Absolutely.
It's
Well,
fun.
they can stick
Fun to
around a
finally
little
talk about
bit.
Battle.
Oh, actually, you know what? We have some hot topics we want to ask you about, so yeah,
I
stick
thought
around.
I was going to get out of here before
No,
that.
I'm sorry.
Sorry.
All right.
First, though, we are going to do a giveaway.
Okay.
Oh, yay.
We'll do a hoodie because you saw a lot of people were asking about hoodies.
Awesome.
Which hoodie?
It's a good time of year for it.
I don't know. Well, we have limited sizes, so you
yeah.
can choose depending on what size we have.
I know we have
need a
some
word,
of the
though.
Alliance ones,
What
though.
should the word be?
Rich.
Rich.
Rich?
No. How about
No, too late.
Drake's.
Lurk.
Lurk?
fine?
All right,
Lurk.
lurk.
Fine.
The secret word is
L-U-R-K.
lurk. It's actually not a secret anymore. But yeah, so we're going to do this giveaway real quick for an ESO hoodie. Then we'll get into some hot topics, so be sure and stick around. Sounds like we're going to hit a commercial break, but we're not.
Nope.
We're just sitting here.
It's like, are we going somewhere?
CJ's like, what am I supposed to do?
This can be our 1 minute break.
So the hoodies we have are, you guys have probably seen the Alliance hoodies that we had on our Bethesda store. There's a Old Mary one. Actually, I think it's specifically the Elf, the Breton, and the Nord.
Yeah, we have
With the-
those, and then we have Alliance-specific hoodies in some sizes. So it's just got a little Ouroboros on the front, and then the Alliance symbol on the back. It's really cool.
I want one of those.
No.
Okay.
Just go get one.
Go into the closet and grab one.
No.
Gino
I don't
will
have a
kill
key
you.
for that.
I don't have one either.
Guess who does?
I know.
So type in
So
lurk
you know who to beg.
chat. Yeah, it's our favorite thing. Type in lurk. It's L-U-R-K. If you would like to try
Who
and
was
win.
typing it differently?
L-E-R-K. I'm
L-E-R-K.
sure.
L-E-R-K.
Guys.
Lurk. I mean, they could do that to be trolling, lurking.
Maybe.
Uh-huh.
Let's lurk. All right, so we'll give this just a few more seconds. Type
that-
in lurk if you would like to try and win this.
Is that
hoodie.
like misspelling lurk? Lurk. I'm gonna lurk. I'm gonna lurk.
I'm gonna lurk at you.
Lurk.
Lurk at you.
Lurk over here?
Oh God, that's terrible.
Ermagur lurk.
Ermagerd lurking. Gina's lost it.
Lurk
Look
at
at-
thorse. Okay, so let's choose a winner.
So hard,
Oh my
trying
God.
so hard not to do any
Our sound
effects.
guy's dying.
He wants to do his noise so bad.
Okay,
Breathe,
ready?
breathe.
Who's our winner? Winner.
Ermagerd, it's
Hey, it's the Eden Prime.
the Erden Perm.
Congrats to Eden Prime.
Actually, before I forget, we will send you a message. Conway is just,
I think our sound guy is
Great.
about to die.
you won a hoodie. Okay, so check your inbox or your other tab. It'll be in one or the other, and we'll get your size and your hoodie shipped out.
Yep. Okay, so you guys want to talk about hot topics?
I know
We've got
I do.
some things that people would like to know
Okay.
about.
Hot topics.
There
so
we
the
go.
very
I was
first-
waiting for somebody to do it.
So the first thing is the no CP test that we had. Was it last week?
It was the
2 weeks
week
ago
before
already?
Yeah.
PAX, right?
Yeah.
Basically what happened was we turned off all the champion points in all Cyrodiil campaigns in an effort to kind of test some theories about improving performance and what have you, and we also did double alliance points for the entire time, which was kind of cool. So nobody's really heard yet what happened. We just kind of re-enabled everything, and then that was it. So
Yep.
do
Well,
you
we're
want
getting data.
We're measuring the data.
Yeah.
So one of the things we did before we turned off the champion points is we did a bunch of under the hood things for update 13 to make the server more performant. When I explained it to you guys, you were like, just say you did more things to make the server more performant.
Lots of stuff.
So I'll leave it at
It's-
that.
Engineering magic.
And
It was
we
pretty crazy.
measured that over the course of the week. And then we turned CP off across the board, doubled alliance points, got a huge influx of players to come in and
I
play.
think it was the first time I've seen pop locks across the board for
Everything was pop locked.
Yeah.
and
Even
everybody seemed to be having a good time.
yep, even
too.
Blackwater Blade was pop locked, which was great. And then we did that for a week, and then we looked at the data. And now we're looking at the data once we turned it off again to see kind of where players are going and how they're doing.
Comparisons, yeah.
And what we saw is the update 13 changes that we did had a dramatic impact on server performance.
Yes.
Dramatic. Knocked server latency, server frames down significantly. Turning CP off, we didn't see as huge an increase in that after the changes. So that was good in that the champion point stuff wasn't as big of a performance hit as we originally thought.
Okay,
But we
that's
did
good.
get more people in there,
But
which
we
was
got
good.
sure we had a shit ton of people going and play.
It's fine.
Really,
My virgin
I
ears.
said worse earlier.
I know.
We had a ton of players better
Sure.
that went in and played, but that was because it was double alliance points. So now we're looking at the data afterwards to see kind of where things are going to shake out, where players are going now that it's back to you have your choice, CP or not.
More people have found that they actually liked no CP, so we've seen
Yeah.
an influx of people going
Yeah.
into Azuras now.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah,
is
there was a lot of
interesting.
feedback that it was just more fun. It seemed more balanced,
People died
more
easier.
strategic.
People died a
Well,
lot easier.
people
There
which
was-
is one thing.
there
people
was
ran
some
out of
dying.
resources.
Yes.
People died a little bit easier. It was harder to kind of make those trolley builds in no CP. I mean, you could still do them, but it's a lot harder to do them. And I think the biggest thing was, time to kill felt
Faster.
better.
Yeah.
It felt, well, it wasn't 1-2, you were dead, like a lot of people kind of complain about in the champion point campaigns. It was much more controlled. You
Yeah, it's
could
like
actually
the
survive some of
extremes.
those initial bursts.
Yeah, the extremes exist in the champion campaigns. It's either
Yep.
2-3 shot you're dead, or I'm not going to die ever.
Yep.
So-
And then the other big thing was players that didn't have a lot of champion points felt like they could go in there and compete because
Right.
they
Right.
didn't have to have 600 champion points to play or feel like that to have 600 champion points.
And that's
So,
I was gonna say that's sort of why we're leaning right now for Battlegrounds to be no CP as well, because it opens up that window. Like you get to 160 and you're done. You don't need to worry about continually getting more and more CP to be competitive, and that sort of goes against what we want Battlegrounds to be initially. Like this, go in, hop, play, have fun.
Accessibility.
Yes.
okay, so still looking at the data. That's
Yep.
kind of the
Still.
TLDR.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And like you mentioned earlier, we're kind of looking at potentially doing no champion points in Battlegrounds.
Yeah. And, as a whole, it was great. Like the test
it was
was fun. Besides it just getting good data
Right.
and seeing lots of players come in with various opinions on the forums. Like it was funny. Some people said it's so much better now. Other people, it's so much worse now. We're like, okay, well, let's start narrowing down the data more and more and more. And that's led us to kind of go the route of, okay, well, the changes we made in 13 had the best impact we've seen,
Yep.
bar none. And we're not done though. We still know that client performance we need to look at.
That's our number one right now. Is
Yeah.
client performance. Get that better. Get that working the way it
And
should.
when we say client performance, we mean your FPS. Like when
Frame
you
rate.
get
Frames per
slideshows.
second. Yeah.
yeah. We know that we need to make that smoother.
Great.
Okay.
One of the other things that we saw a lot of people talking about after PAX was screenshot that got posted. It was one of the champion point passive siphoner.
Yeah.
There were some changes coming to that. And
There are a few vocal people.
Everyone was kind of like, what the hell is this? So that's kind of part of a larger thing that's happening with the next update, which do you want to talk about that? You could
Sure.
speak better to it.
It's part of our balance pass, and it is still being worked on. It's not 100%. It's something we're evaluating while we're doing our play testing.
And what everybody saw was kind of one.
And that was
part of it.
one
one in
potential
progress,
aspect of it. It's one part of it. The overall goal is to make sure there are counters to every kind of tree. We don't have a lot of counters to each kind of tree, like cost reduction. Kind of never
There's no
had a
counter to
counter.
it.
There was no counter to it. Whereas there were counters to other aspects.
There's more crit
so-
percentage,
so
and
we're-
there's more crit resist.
Yep.
So.
So we're looking at that, and ultimately all of this is kind of stemming from the balance. And one of our original design philosophies for the game was no cooldowns at all on abilities, because we wanted you to manage your resources. That was going to be the limiting factor. And we've got to a point now with such a high champion point cap that you have unlimited resources.
With
Therefore,
certain builds, especially.
right. Therefore, it really comes down to kind of who can push a certain combination of buttons faster. And we want it more to be about, playing this tactical game, having resources be a mitigating factor or a major part of your play style.
Okay, that
Great.
makes sense. So one of the other things that we've seen over the last couple weeks, actually probably for the last month or so, since Homestead launched, was complaints about disconnects, freezing, locking up in trials specifically for console players.
Okay.
So on Monday, we actually ran with a guild on the Xbox One live server, North America. One of our guys logged in with a special client, ran with DPS Hero, I don't know how your name is said, guild.
DPS
So thank you
Keep
guys so
trying.
much, and thank you
Yep.
so much for
Keep
everybody
butchering
who
it.
That's another
volunteered.
guild name. Keep trying.
So thank you everybody who volunteered to help. It was really awesome that you did, and we got some really good data on that.
Yep. We got a whole bunch of logs that we needed.
Yep. We were able to reproduce the issue, and currently the team is kind of poring over the logs, investigating, digging through them, and they're making progress on understanding what the issue is. So we'll keep you updated on that. We're trying to get it fixed as quickly as possible.
Yep.
Was that it?
Yep, that's it. I didn't know. I didn't know if you guys wanted to speak. Say
No, I
anything
mean,
more,
there's, again, it was a super difficult thing for us to try and reproduce. We couldn't reproduce it on the live servers. We actually couldn't, when we went in as a group of, devs on the console servers, we couldn't get it to reproduce either. And so there was a guild, well, several guilds that we were able to get in touch with. Brent actually went on, I think, and had a special build to get those logs, and we were able to reproduce it. So that's good.
Great.
Sometimes we have to do those special client builds internally only to see those things.
Yeah.
Like the invisible people, we had to do a special build to find out what was going on with it.
Okay.
Cool. One of the subjects that we see on the forums since Update 13 launched, Homestead, was issues with our grouping tool. And we just want to let you guys know that we do see your posts. We are reading, we are aware. One of the things specifically that we're looking at right now is when you get a group together and you go to a dungeon and then you just disband and that's it, which shouldn't be happening. So we are looking into these issues, and we'll let you guys know if we need more information, but right now we're just kind of in our investigation phase and gathering more information and figuring out how to fix all of this.
And then lastly is confusion about the Morrowind, the different versions that you can buy and when you can play. And we're currently looking at improving messaging on that. Specifically, if you're a new player and you buy Morrowind, you can't actually play the base game until June because it's all one code.
Right.
So we understand that that's currently not as clear as it could be on the site, so we're going to be talking about ways that we can improve making that a bit more clear. Currently, if you are a new player and you'd like to play the game right away, you can get the gold edition, and then you can
Play that right
upgrade
now.
to Morrowind. Yep, and then you can upgrade to Morrowind. You can even pre-order the upgrade if you like, and hop right in when Morrowind launches this June.
Just kidding. One more thing wanted
One
to
more
touch
thing?
on. I think it's Jules in the yellow text is asking about the streak bug. We are aware of that. We're working on it.
We got that one reproed. So
yeah?
they're looking at it.
Oh, great. So fixes hopefully
On the
coming.
way.
Yep.
They're on it.
It'll be in a future patch. So we're working on that one. So real quick, we have had some really cool fan creations that have come up. We just wanted to share a few with you guys.
Just before we go, something fun.
We won.
So first up, this is On the
Aw,
Offensive.
I like that
I love that niche.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
Found this on our ESO subreddit. This is by Orange Blues.
So this is a really fun one.
Oh, I'm
the
sorry,
artist-
it's a commission for Orange Blues.
A commission for Orange Blues. So the artist said this was a really fun one. It's very challenging but fun. The artist really loves drawing foliage and is probably one of the most fun areas of experimentation for them to try and just get more effect with less work. It's of course not where she wants it to be, or he, and never will be, as artists are always hard on their work, but it looks wonderful and we love it.
Yeah, it's
but
cool.
The chase after the ever-changing goal is ultimately what's fun about art.
It's true.
It's a great attitude.
So the
And a maelstrom staff.
wait, this is
What?
oh, this is the wrong one.
Oops.
I like the foliage
Whoops.
in the background of that
JK,
poor tree.
this is a Dunmer, but it's a different Dunmer. This is the Dunmer Sorcerer.
Okay.
Sorry,
Still with the cool
CJ.
neck. Still with the cool
Let's
neck.
hashtag blame CJ.
Nice.
So yeah, this is still a Dunmer Sorcerer. It's by
Classes.
Slipper Jam. So I know I need some reading glasses. Getting old. But yeah, this is with a pink netch called Blood Poot.
Blood
What?
poop.
Blood Poot. I shit you
Oh.
not, that is the name.
I thought you said blood poop.
Yeah. No, poot.
Like
And then you
fart.
said I
the
shit
other
you not.
thing.
No, a
Not,
fart.
Oh boy.
well, nice work. Blood Poot.
Oh.
So this is a
Wow.
crocheted piece
So cute.
called Feather Paws by Cygnus. This was something that she created on her own, just kind of in her spare time. She was commenting saying that the hardest part was getting the arms and legs identical on each side. And she actually stuck a wire frame in so she could pose it into Healing Springs or Breath of Life.
Nice.
Very cute. The hair is felting wool. The dress is made of silk. The bottom of the shoes, which you can't see in this picture, is actually an empty tube of tomato puree. Because why not?
Why not?
She said she's still working on making a spell power cure staff. But in the meantime, looking pretty cool
Yeah.
and so unique. Like, this is something that you could just keep forever. This
Whoa.
is On the Offensive.
Wow, that's cool. Okay, so this was On the Offensive. This was the one that the artist thought wasn't very great.
That's awesome.
Oh my goodness.
I don't know,
pretty
man.
cool.
I think it's pretty awesome.
This is great. This looks like something out of one of the Battlegrounds, doesn't it?
It
Could be,
does,
yeah. I would
kind
agree,
of,
yeah.
yeah.
Could be.
You can't, maybe it's a little bit brighter on the stream, but he is fighting another character sort of in the foreground.
Yeah,
Cool.
see down there.
Yep.
And then the last thing we have is a screenshot of the Nightingale armor that we saw at PAX.
Great. Screenshot?
She was so awesome.
Did you say picture?
A
Screenshot?
real life screenshot. My bad. It's Friday.
So good.
It's a photo.
And Gina's not even drinking.
I'm not drinking the green apple
The green
juice.
apple juice, sorry.
So yeah, this was, if you were here earlier in the show, we had a picture, or a real life screenshot, of this player playing Battlegrounds with headphones
Screenshot
on,
IRL.
which was kind of cute.
Oh, there's actually somebody in there, huh?
Oh, yeah.
You can't even
Yeah,
see
she
her
was
face.
amazing.
It's a real
Yep.
person.
Yep.
She actually loved playing on controller more so than keyboard. She played the second day, and we put her on mouse and keyboard. She's like, I can't do this.
Yeah.
So she's a console player.
Pretty awesome. So we love seeing things like these. We'll usually just kind of stalk the internet looking for stuff, but if you have anything you'd like to show us, to consider for a future show, just send it our way.
Yep.
We're always
Shoot
watching.
it to us either on Twitter or our Instagram.
We're always watching. That
Yes.
sounded really creepy. I'm sorry.
Big Brother's watching.
So that,
She's always watching.
yeah, we're always
That's what I do.
stalking.
Yes, indeed.
So that wraps up our show. Thank you guys so much for joining
Sure.
us.
yeah,
Sure,
thanks
thank
guys.
you.
This was really cool.
Next
fun.
show will be on, it was fun. Next show will be on
That's your St.
March
Patty's Day
31st.
farewell picture.
Next show is going to be featuring the Warden class. We're going to be talking about some skills and different builds and sort of what you can look forward to seeing with the Warden.
And
So
taking
that'll
a
be
look
fun.
live.
Indeed.
Happy St. Patty's Day.
Happy St. Patty's
Happy
Day.
St.
Happy
Patty's Day.
weekend, and we'll see you next time.